Hey, Dr. K. In the past, you mentioned what contributes to making friends, meeting potential partner, unplanned regular interaction plus shared goal. What are your thoughts on and tips regarding meeting people over the internet and online dating now that is our only option? A side question, how do you jump a bridge between introductory small talk and free-flowing conversation? I've matched with girls on Tinder, not exclusive to online interaction. Before Virus, met people with something in common at parties, but never started a conversation, being terrified of not knowing what I should say to spark interest and have the other side engage back. Is there something internally holding back that I should think about and digest, or is there a technique that can help me get through? Okay. So chat, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I think we gotta come up with like a, how to date and meet people by Dr. K. Because I'm okay, we're going to talk about this. Okay. How do you jump a bridge between introductory small talk and free-flowing conversation? Being terrified of not knowing what I should say to spark interest and have the other side engage back. So this is the key thing. Okay. All right. So let's think about this. Okay, chat. All right. Stay with me now. Okay. So here's the thing. When y'all talk to someone, it's not your job to spark interest. It's not your job to make the other person engage back. I want you guys to think about interactions with, we're going to assume a heteronormative and male standpoint. Your job is not to make them like you or get them interested. Your job, you're like a street vendor who has a table of stuff that is laid out, right? So your job is to lay out the stuff on the table, and if they're interested, they'll play the game. But it's not about saying the right thing or the wrong thing. It's about saying what you have to say. And so put yourself out there, right? So I don't mean dick pic. That's a terrible idea under all circumstances. But I mean especially if you're a male, do a little bit of the male dance. And so there's small talk, but then I think there are a couple of questions that you can ask. What was 2020 like for you? So that's a great kind of open-ended question. But generally speaking, you want to show people who you are. And if they're interested in that, they'll engage with you. And if they're not interested in that, they won't. But what you don't want to do is try to get them to spark interest and try to get them to engage with you by being something that's inauthentic, because then it's you're just setting yourself up for failure down the road. So just be who you are and be authentic. As it turns out, in my experience, most women find that attractive, right? When you're just authentic and fun. And when you're cognitively focused on enjoying yourself and being who you are, as opposed to trying to be something that you're not, which is so cognitively intense that you're living a lie and there's all this subconscious processing going on. You just can't, you're not relaxed. You're overthinking it. You're less fun. So just be who you are and let other people engage. I mean, even if you're a woman, it goes both ways, right? So you shouldn't try to be a particular thing for a man. Or if you're gay, you shouldn't try to be a particular thing for your partner or someone that you're attracted to. Just be who you are and display that. And for the people that are interested, they'll respond. So does that make sense? I want you guys to not try to get something to get them to like you. It's sort of be who you are. And if they're interested, great. Because you're probably pretty interesting. And if they're interested, cool. So then you guys can build on that. And it's a relationship that's founded on authenticity. Now, how do you break in between small talk and free flowing conversation? This is where you gotta, there's some notes to take here. Okay. So open-ended question followed by investigative response and then a little bit of sharing. 2-to-1 question to answer ratio. Okay. So this is where, what was 2020 like for you? Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, wow, that sounds crazy. Oh, you got a cat. Cool. Tell me about your cat. Awesome. And then you're yeah, you can toss in I'm definitely allergic to cats, but now it's tough because I clearly want to meet your cat and I'm totally into you, but I'm allergic to cats. So it's do I choose, allergies or continuing to, shoot my shot with you? I don't know. And then this is also where I'd make your intentions known pretty early. Okay. You got to let her know, you got to flirt, bros. You'd be oh man, that's a real pity. But, maybe I can learn to live with allergies for your, if it involves you, absolutely. I can learn to adjust. And then you see how they respond to that. Like if they're like, oh my God, this guy's a creeper. And then you're like, okay, you back off a little bit. Maybe you overplayed your hand. Or she giggles, in which case it's like, yeah, let's go, baby. And so, introductory small talk, and then like actually get to know the person, because what you're thinking about is like, you're thinking about dating this person, right? So like you want to get to know, like, is this person interesting? What are they into? What are you into? How does that, and then like try to engage with them around topics that like seem interesting to both of you guys. So ask a couple of open-ended questions. I think there are a lot of questions that people tend to ask that like people feel put on the spot. So steer clear of yes or no questions, steer clear of like questions about like, if you want to do like, what do you do for a living? I don't think that's an interesting question. What was 2020 like for you is a good one. What's something that you're excited about for 2021 is a good one, right? So you get to like learn a little bit about their interests. You can be like authentically curious about what they have to say. You can share a little bit. I think there are like a lot of questions like that you can ask that will sort of open up the discussion. What do you think about love? I think that sounds like it's coming on a bit too strong. Is Dr. K a pickup artist? Certainly not. The last person I picked up was 17 years ago. So I'm dated, to say the least. Yeah. Smiling is important. Right? And then like the other thing is, remember, y'all can be authentic. So this is what I think is sort of the trump card, which can really like, you can make or break you. But if you're having trouble talking to a girl because you don't know like what to say to her, just walk up to her and be like, for the last 10 minutes, I've been trying to think about how to strike up a conversation with you because I think you're absolutely gorgeous and I haven't been able to come up with anything. Can you help me out? Just tell her, like, lay it out there, like, be authentic. And like, I've been racking my brain because I'd love to get to know you better, but I just can't think of anything. Right? And just be authentic, dudes. Right? Be authentic. And then we'll see how she responds. And she's like, oh yeah, that's a sweet thought, but I'm really not interested. And you can say, okay, thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your night. And then you don't go barking up the wrong tree. Like it's also like very important to respect boundaries, right? Like you don't want to push them. And then you can even like, this is where you can do a little bit of like asking for permission. And you can say, okay, I get what you're saying. Sounds like you're not interested. If I think of something good later on in the night, like let's say the two of y'all are at a bar or whatever, like if I think of something really, really good, can I take another swing? And then she'll either say yes or no. And like, that's like, you're asking for permission. You're making your intentions known. You're respecting her boundaries, but you're also letting her know, like, you're not going to quite give up right away. And then if she says like, yeah, you can take another shot at it, you're like, fantastic. And then I don't know. Based or cringed? I don't know what based means. Right? Does that make sense, guys? Like you want to be like respectful, but you want to be like authentic, like respectful, authentic, respect the boundary, make her laugh, be funny, have confidence. It's like authentic. That's the way. And then if she's like, no, I'm seeing someone, you're like, awesome. Good for you. And good for that dude, presuming it's a dude. And then you move on with your life. But I can fucking guarantee you that over the next 24 hours, she will think about you at least once. At least once. Right? And like, it's cool. Like, even if she rejects you, which it's not really a rejection, it's just she's seeing someone. At the end of the day, like, you're still going to make her feel good about herself, right? So like, you've made the world, like, even if it's like rejection on your part, you've made the world like a slightly better place because you've helped a woman or man or whatever feel attractive and feel wanted by another human being, which is an awesome gift to give, right? Even if there's no relationship in it, like you guys are way too caught up in how it's like affecting you. Like, oh my God, she said no, I'm so embarrassed. But like, yeah, she said no, but as long as you're not cringe about it, which we'll talk about. You know, cringe is all about boundaries and respecting boundaries. But as long as you're not cringe, then, you know, like, even if she turns you down, it's like she's going to wake up the next morning and feel like she's an attractive woman, which is like an awesome thing, right? So we live in a society where we're taught that we're unattractive because of, you know, magazines and Instagram filters and all that kind of crap. So if you can help someone feel a little bit attractive about themselves, like, cool. All right.